Hello everyone, welcome to the session on Universal Human Values and Ethics. In this video, we are going to explore about the topic harmony in society. Let us get into the video. Family is the basic building block of human organization. A cluster of family forms the society. So ultimately, society is the next larger order. Society is composed of many families living together which have a common goal among them. Let us have some reflections. Look into these three options and let us find out where are we living today in this current scenario. First one is families living together in a relationship of mutual fulfillment. That means all the families have a common goal. They all work together to achieve the common goal, which is called as society. The second option is people living together but not in relationship of mutual fulfillment. That means each family have their own specific goals. They don't work together towards a common goal, which is called as a crowd. And the third option is people living separately in opposition, struggling with each other. That means each of them have a conflicting goal. That means the goal of one family may affect the goal of another family, which is called as battlefield. So we have to reflect and find out the answer. Just think about this situation and find out the answer, that where we are living in this current scenario, whether we are living in the society or in a crowd or in a battlefield. The answer may vary from individual to individual. We are going to explore two major content. The first one is goal of every human being living in the society, and the second one is the dimensions required to achieve the human goal. Let us see one by one. The first one is human goal. So there are four human goals which every human being have to achieve to lead a happy life. The first and foremost is right understanding and right feeling in every individual, which will lead to happiness in every individual. The second goal is prosperity in every family. And the third level is fearlessness and trust in society. And the last one is coexistence or existence in nature. So the first goal at the level of individual is right understanding and right feeling. So let us see what is meant by right understanding. So the term right understanding refers that one should have a clarity about what is his role as a human being in his family, in the society in which he is living, and with the rest of nature. So this knowledge is called as right understanding. And next one, right feeling. So what is meant by right feeling? It is the ability to live in a good relationship and harmonious relationship with the other human beings in the society in which he is living and also with the rest of nature. So this is the first and foremost goal every human being have to achieve as an individual. The second goal at the level of family is prosperity. Prosperity in every family. So let us have a clear understanding about the word prosperity, because many of us may assume that prosperity means leading a wealthy life. It is not about the money and wealth we gain to lead a prosperous life. It is about the ability and capacity to identify our needs of physical facility for our own family. So that means we must have a correct understanding about the required amount of physical facility to lead a happy life. So this is where prosperous life begins. And also the skills and practice for sustainable production by means of labor must be using mutual enriching process. That means the process we use to gain the physical facility from the nature must be mutually enriching. It should not affect the nature, it should be enriching the nature. And also during the process of gaining physical facility, we must not exploit other people or nature. And the third goal is fearlessness or trust in the society. So as an individual and as a family, We should have fearlessness to reside in this society, and also we must trust the society in which we are living. So for that, all the units in the society must be self-organized and they should be complementary to each other. That means one unit of society must not exploit the other unit of society for its own well-being. Okay, so each unit must be responsible for the well-being of other units, and also it must be self-motivated for the well-being of remaining units. So we should follow the slogan, I work to be happy and I make others to be happy. So which will lead to give economics. So that must not be give and take economics, that should be give economics, in which both have mutual enrichment. Neither of us will have a loss. The fourth goal is coexistence in nature. That is, we must coexist with nature. We should not exploit the nature for our well-being. Looking at the picture, we can see that there are four orders in nature, that is physical order, which consists of soil, water, air, minerals, etc. Bio order, which consists of plants, trees, etc. Animal order, which comprises animals and birds, etc. And the last one is human order. Except human order, the remaining three orders mutually enrich among themselves. Only the human order exploit the remaining three orders for our well-being of the mankind. But this is not really encouraging. We should have a concern that we should not exploit the nature for our own purpose. We should have a concern that our activities in the process of gaining physical facility must be mutually enriching and it should be eco-friendly. So this is what we say coexistence in nature. Now let us see what are all the dimensions required to achieve the four human goals. Okay. So there are five different dimensions. Let us see one by one. The first one is education, which leads to sanskar, and the second one is health, which comes from self-regulation, and the third one is production, which is coming from work, and the fourth one is justice in terms of preservation, and the last one is exchange and storage. Let us see what is meant by education and sanskar. The purpose of education is to develop the right understanding of harmony at all levels. That is, all levels means there are four different levels, starting from individual, next family, and then society, and the largest order is nature. So, education facilitates us to have a right understanding of the harmony at these four levels. What is meant by sanskar? It is the commitment, preparation, and practice of living in harmony and leading a harmonious life with the other human beings as well as the rest of nature. The second dimension which helps us to achieve the human goals is health and self-regulation. Of course, we know what is meant by health. Body acts according to the self. The self is the conscious of the body, and parts of the body are in harmony with each other. Uh, whether we wish or not, all the parts of our body are in harmony for a proper execution and daily functioning and metabolism. Okay. So what is meant by self-regulation? It is the nurturing, protecting and right utilization of the body, which may be achieved by means of physical exercises, yoga, breathing exercise, etc. So by means of this self-regulation process, we can have a good health. It is called as swasthya. There is a proverb called a sound mind in a sound body. So preserving our body is very much important to have a fresh mind and active mind. Of course, the body recognizes what is needed for its well-being. The third dimension is production and work. So what is meant by work? It is the labor a human being do on the rest of the nature. Whatever we produce, it comes from the nature only, isn't it? Okay, so this is what we call it as work. What is production? Production is the end product of work. If we do something with the nature, we will gain something, that is called as production. So when it comes to production, there arises two questions. One is what to produce and the next one is how to produce. So what to produce? This is the question which must be answered very properly. So we must produce the required amount of physical facility not exceeding the limit. Okay, so when it comes for exceeding the limit, there comes the exploitation of nature. So we must produce what is needed at the moment. Okay, next one is how to produce. So we must produce in such a way that the product is eco-friendly as well as people-friendly. So we must ensure these two conditions whenever there comes the process of production. And the fourth dimension is justice and preservation. What is justice? It is the recognition, fulfillment of human-human relationship which will lead to mutual happiness among the individuals. This is called as justice. We must be aware that the other is similar to me. Okay. So whatever is bad to me, it is not good to the others also. So justice initiates from the family and slowly spreads to the world family order, which will create an undivided society. The next one is preservation. So what is meant by preservation? It is the correct identification of human rest of nature relationship and its fulfillment and evaluation, which leads to mutual prosperity and mutual enrichment. Okay, so this is called as preservation. It is simply, you can say that preserving the nature and right utilization of the nature. So from this picture we can understand that the left portion of the image represents what nature gives to us and the right side of the image says that what we have done to the nature. And the last one is exchange and storage. So whenever there is a process of exchange of physical facility, we must ensure that there is mutual fulfillment among the two individuals. None of them should be exploited and none of them should be profited, because one's profit becomes another's loss. And the next one is storage of physical facility. So we must be aware of the amount of physical facility required for us and only that has to be stored. We should not accumulate for our own greediness. This is called as storage. Storage of physical facility with a view of mutual fulfillment, not for the process of profit or anything. Just look at the image. Who would you like to feed? Either the trash or the child who is starving for food. So we must be careful that at the same time we are wasting the food. There are a number of children around the globe who are still suffering in hunger. Okay. So now it's time for self-reflection. Just go through these questions. It is an assignment given to you from what you have learned through these topics. You can have a reflection. Of course, it is a family assignment. You can just sit with your family in the evening time and have a dialogue among your family members and try to find the answer for these questions. Okay. Of course, if you are struggling to find the answer, definitely we will facilitate you and support you to find out the answers. Okay. So with this self-reflection, we will end this video. We'll meet you again in another video. Thank you.